Hey y'all. So today we're going to be making what I think is one of the simplest and easiest projects as a blacksmith, and that is the dinner bell triangle. So for this one, I've got 30 inches of half-inch square stock. I have a mark at 10 inches and a mark at 20 inches, so that will give us three equal lengths. It's a whole lot simpler if you have a torch, and that's what I will be using today, but you can use the forge for this as well. And I have 12 inches of 3/8 square that we're going to be using for the ringer. Now you can make these ornate or you can keep it simple. You can make it as complicated or as easy as you want. And today we're going to keep it simple and we're going to make one just like this. And when you make these, you want to leave a gap right here because if you bring these together where they touch, you deaden the ring and it's not as loud and it doesn't resonate as well. It also needs to be free hanging off a piece of string, rope, or leather cordage, which is what I use a lot of times. But you can make these any size you want. The one we're making today, like I said, it's 30 inches of half-inch square, and it's 10 inches about on each leg, so it gives us about a 10-inch triangle. I think this is a good size. And with the size of material, it also gives us a good sound and a good loud ring. It kind of deadens it a little bit through the microphone, but it's a lot louder than what it sounds. But you can make them ornate. You can put hooks on them, twist in them. You can forge leaves on the end. You can make them as pretty or simple as you want. And you can also do the same thing with the hangers or brackets, or you can leave them just by the triangle and the striker for it. But I'm going to get this put in the vise and we'll move over to the torch and I'll get started here. Like I said, you can do this in the forge. The reason I like to use the torch is one, because I have one, and two, I can put the heat just where I want to bend. Let's just take a couple minutes to get this up to a temperature where we can easily bend it. Like I said, I keep the heat localized so I keep my legs of the triangle straight. It's the thing you have to fight if you do it in the forge. When you heat up a large area and you try to bend, sometimes you'll get a curve in your leg. And we're going to bring this to about 60 degrees. We'll do the same for our other leg over here. Maybe I'll have to adjust. Bring this one side in a little bit closer. And I'll take this to the anvil, and where pooched up where you make the bend, I'll flatten that back out and I'll bring these a little bit closer to each other. If you can move fairly quick and do this while it's still got some heat in it, and this is mild steel, so it's not very hard to work. I'll pull these in just a little bit closer, but that's it for the triangle. Like I said, if you got a torch, this is one of the simplest projects to do. Even if you do it in a forge, it's still very simple. Now for our ringer or striker, we're going to keep it just as simple. And all I'm going to do is put a hook on the end of it to hang it on the bell. Not quite hot enough for an easy bend there. And the camera's in the way. Just get that looped around. Come back and offset it back where it's fairly straight with the center of the loop. Try to. We're going to have to clean this up on the handle. But that, where you get that extra bend, is where I was talking about. If you use the torch, doing the triangles, you get your localized heat right there where you just want it to bend at, and you don't get that extra swoop in it. That's it. Like I said, this is one of the simplest projects you can make if you keep it simple. Now, you can make it as complicated as you want if you want to get ornate with it. So like I said, simple project. I heated it back up. I applied the beeswax finish I normally do on things like this. Kept everything simple about it. Using a hanger I had laying here. And there's our finished bell. Time to eat, y'all. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Y'all have a good one.